what's up guys, it's Ashton. So this week we're talking about legal name change and the process. So right now I'm kind of wrapping up my legal name change. I had my court hearing on Thursday. Well, I can't really help with other states. I can tell you what it's like in Wisconsin and kind of how I got to where I am right now. So I just changed my social security and my license, and then tomorrow I plan on going to the banks and stuff. So basically, to figure out what I needed to do, I kind of just Googled, how to change my name and gender marker, and then obviously I did in Wisconsin. So if you're in a different state, just search the specifics in your state, and then it can tell you what you need to do. You can find a couple websites, or you could probably find like I found there's a group here in Wisconsin called Forge, and they have a step-by-step thing of what you need and the papers that you need. And I was able to find all my paperwork online and print it out and fill it out. So basically I had to, for the state of Wisconsin, I had to fill out like a petition for a name change, an order for a name change, and a third piece of paper. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember what it was called. So basically I filled out the paperwork that I needed to fill out, and then what I had to do is I had to go down to the courthouse. I had to go to one office. I had to file and pay fees to file the paperwork, and then they gave me my courtroom, and then I had to go to the actual courtroom and see the clerk that sits in front of the judge and file a date with the judge himself. And then the state of Wisconsin requires you to publish an ad for 3 weeks, so I had to go to the Daily Reporters, the one that I chose because it was right near the courthouse, and pay a fee to run an ad for 3 weeks that stated that I was changing my name and stuff like that. And basically that's for like creditors or whoever. You publicize your name change, so if there's anybody looking for you, they can object or whatever. You rarely get any objections. Like, I didn't have anybody object. And then after the ad is run for 3 weeks, you get a proof of publication sent to you in the mail. And then when it comes to your court date, you bring I brought my papers, my birth certificate, and the proof of publication. And then you basically go to your courtroom and you wait for the judge to call your case. And then once he calls your case, or once she calls your case, you approach the stand, give the clerk your proof of publication, and they already have a copy of the paperwork that they made when you filed it. And then the judge just asks you a couple questions, like mine took 5 minutes. He just said, this is your name now, this is what you want to change your name to, you live here, what do? You don't need a license, okay, you have proof of publication, there are no objections, and then that was basically it. So then he granted the name change, and then once the name change is granted, I had to go to an office in the courthouse. I had to order a new birth certificate with my new name. I had to pay to get certified copies of the court order. So the certified copies are what you use at the banks and the DMV to show that you had your name legally changed, while you're waiting kind of for all of the other stuff like your birth certificate to come in. Now for the state of Wisconsin, it changes your name on the birth certificate, but it does not change your sex, because you need to have what they consider sexual reassignment surgery and a doctor's letter for that for your gender on your birth certificate to change. But if you have a letter from your doctor, you can get your gender marker on your license changed. So after I had my court date and I got my certified copies of my court order, I went to Social Security first, and I changed my name with Social Security first, and then you have to wait 24 hours before you can do anything else. So then after 24 hours, so yesterday, I went to the DMV and I brought my court order notice, I filled out the paper for a new ID with my new name and stuff, and then I gave them my doctor's letter, and I had my gender marker changed on my license, and I got a paper copy because in Wisconsin they send you an ID separately. And then I obviously haven't gone to the banks yet, but I plan on taking, the notice for legal name change to each of the banks that I bank at, and then obviously I'll have to order new debit cards and stuff like that with the new name. But I mean, it's pretty easy. You just need to, I would just, look at Google how to change your name in the specific state that you're in. I'm sure there are some groups in the courthouse or something like that can help you. Like I went and saw, they have a volunteer office, and I just went and made sure that all my paperwork was filled out correctly. Basically, they have a bunch of law students who volunteer and help you under a supervisor, help you fill out the paperwork, make sure you have all the stuff that you need. They gave me a checklist, which was really helpful. So basically, I just filed the step-by-step checklist. And then I also, while I was in the volunteer office, and after they made sure my paperwork was correct, I had it notarized there, which took care of that stuff, because you do need to get the copies for the order and the petition and the third piece of paper, which I forgot what it was. You do need to have those notarized before you can file. So thankfully they're all able, whoever's in the courthouse in the state of Wisconsin is able to notarize a piece of paper like that. Otherwise, you can go to a bank, and usually they have somebody there that can notarize paperwork and stuff like that. And then, I mean, that was pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. You basically just file the paperwork and wait for your court date, depending on which state you're in. And then it also depends on which state you're in, whether or not you can get the gender marker on your birth certificate changed and kind of their laws. Like I said, Wisconsin, you have to have sexual reassignment surgery to get your birth certificate and social security changed. So right now, my birth certificate and social security aren't changed, but my gender marker on my license is changed because I had a letter from my doctor. And usually states require specific wording in the letters from your doctor in order to get your gender marker changed. My doctor has a stencil letter that she basically just puts your name here and prints it out for you and signs it. But it has to say that it varies from state to state, but I know in the state of Wisconsin it has to say your doctor's name, based off of whatever I remember, their license, blah 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 blah, and then it's they have to tell that you've had a relationship with this patient and that you, under state law and something allow this person to, or certify that this person can be known as male or whatever on their driver's license, the gender male. And so that should work for your license. I didn't test it out at Social Security and stuff because the dude literally said you have to have proof that you had surgery. So obviously I didn't do that. But it's pretty self-explanatory. I would start, just hit the internet. The internet's going to probably be the most helpful in this process. You might be able to find people who've done it in your state and talk about how they did it. You might be able to find a step-by-step thing. You'll be able to find the laws pertaining to your gender marker on your birth certificate versus your license and stuff like that. And you might be able to find a couple of help groups. And then like I said, start with Social Security, wait 24 hours, then I would go to the DMV. And then I would kind of take care of everything else once you have those settled. Because I have to wait for my Social Security card and my license and my birth certificates all to be mailed to me. So I would start in those places. And today I have to go to, I'm not going to do school today. But, alright, actually maybe I will. Yeah, I will. And then obviously you have to go to places accordingly. So I have to go to school, I have to get a new ID, I have to get change my name with my school and stuff like that. And I'm not exactly sure how to do that right now, but I'll figure it out. I'm sure I will. Anyways, thanks guys for listening. Make sure you guys check out our website. 50% of all of our profits go to Rez's top surgery. So make sure you guys are checking that stuff out. We dropped some pretty cool stuff for the fall, and we're working on a new design that we're hopefully are going to drop sometime soon. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. Other than that, have a great day.